Hello, BookTube. Well, that was indeed the mail. So we have books to go through. Let's do that while I've got the camera all set up. Let's see what we have here. We've got a small pile of packages here. We'll see if there's something really interesting in here. What is this first one? This is the part you want to see anyway, is the beam tearing into the mail. Oh, baby, they can't see you. All right, well, here you go. Let's see here. What is this first one? What is this? Oh, this looks good. This looks very good. What have we got here? Okay, let's put that over there. This comes out in April, late April, almost May, and this is May Day, 1971. Oh boy. A story of a White House gone rogue, president surrounded by yes men, national leaders deciding they must skirt the Constitution to protect the nation and themselves from growing public resistance. But the year isn't 2019, it's 1971. In this book, journalist Lawrence Roberts chronicles the largest act of civil disobedience in the United States history in Richard Nixon's Washington. The blockade of the nation's capital would mark the final and most audacious chapter in one of America's most important social movements. As Roberts explains, the intense cluster of protests against the Vietnam War in the spring of 1971 bequeathed consequential changes to American law and politics. They set lasting precedents for individual rights in the heat of dissent, including rules for protesting today in the heart of Washington, D.C. Okay, well, so this is about 1971, but it is a Trump book. The book recreates largely forgotten events through the eyes of dueling characters. Woven into the story are now familiar names like John Kerry, Jane Fonda, and Daniel Ellsberg, leaker of the Pentagon Papers. Okay, all right, well, this was out in late May, so I don't have to worry about it, but that's a lot of fun. This is going to get reviewed everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So let's see what this next one is. No, baby, leave it be. No, that is not even mine. That's a package, so we're that's not even mine. So we're down to a lot fewer packages here. Let's see. Oh, you're so ferocious. What have we got here? Oh no. Oh no. Is this a trick? Did one of you put somebody up at Houghton Mifflin to this? This is ganging up. Okay, well, point well taken. This comes out in February. These come out in February. They're from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. They both come out in February? Yes, they both come out in February. They are not the kind of thing I usually get at all. So either a publicist at Houghton Mifflin watches this channel. I know a couple of them do. Maybe somebody thought, hey, maybe I can goose the process a little. These are books in the homegrown gardening series. So not particularly reviewable. The first one is Container and Fragrant Gardening. I know a little bit about container gardening. Oh, these are beautiful. Oh man, look at that. So it takes you through the plants, gives you a rundown of each one of them. And you can't tell it on flowers as well. Fantastic. You can't really tell from on camera, but these have a kind of a rubbery, very flexible texture to them. It's the dwarf plumbago. They have a very user-friendly texture to them. These are clearly meant to be thumbed over extensively. And the other one is Attracting Birds and Butterflies. How to plant a backyard habitat to attract winged wildlife. Isn't that something? And okay, so this goes through all the different things that these critters like. And it also goes through the critters themselves and gives you an idea of where they are and who you can reasonably expect to attract to your own area. Incredible. Well, I don't know about reviewing, but I'm certainly going to use the heck out of these things. Wow. All right. Okay. Well, that was unusual. All right. Let's move on here. This next one is really skinny. Could be a slim volume of poetry. Let's see. Ooh, gross. I don't need a invoice now, do I? No, I most certainly do not. Let's see. It's another plant book. Son of a gun. Okay, so this comes out in March of 2020. This is by Stefano Mancuso, and it is The Incredible Journey of Plants. When we talk about migrations, we should study plants to understand that these phenomena are unstoppable. In the many different ways plants move, we can see the incessant action and drive to spread plant life that has led plants to colonize every possible environment on Earth. The history of this restless expansion is unknown to most people, but we can begin our exploration with these surprising tales engagingly told by Stefano Mancuso, who is one of the world's leading authorities in the field of plant neurobiology. Didn't know plants had neurobiology, which explores signaling communication at all levels of biological organization. He is a professor at the University of Florence and has published more than 250 scientific papers in international journals. Okay, so is this translated? Yes, this is translated from the Italian by Gregory Conti. Fascinating. Plant migration. Okay, great. All right, fantastic. I tell you, I never know what I'm going to get in the mail on this channel. I never do. So this is the last one. I had to take one out because it's not actually mine. It's a package from a surly houseboy. So that doesn't count. So what is this next one? What's that baby mean? Oh my. Well, boy, I never know what I'm going to get here. Okay. Well, this has schmutz on the cover, but it doesn't obscure the cover. This is, do I have a sheet of any kind? No? Baby, do we have a sheet in here? No? No. Okay. Okay, this is the concluding volume of Jed Pearl's biography of Alexander Calder. It's just called Calder, like the first book was, and the subtitle is The Conquest of Space, the Later Years, 1940 to 1976. So this is from Knopf, and it will be a huge book when it comes out. I believe I reviewed the first book. Doesn't look like. Well, anyway, I don't have a sheet for it, it's got uncorrected proof on the cover there. That's kind of ungainly. This is the second and concluding volume of Jed Pearl's biography of Alexander Calder, one of the most important, influential, and beloved of 20th century sculptors, and one of the greatest artists in the cultural history of America. It is vividly written, illuminating accounts of the artist's triumphant later years. The volume begins during World War II, when Calder and his wife, the former Louisa James, opened their home to a stream of artists and writers in exile from Europe. In the post-war decades, Calder made his first monumental public sculptures and received blockbuster commissions that included Expo 67 in Montreal and the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City. Art critic and biographer Jed Pearl makes clear how Calder's radical sculptural imagination shaped the minimalist and kinetic art movements that emerged in the 1960s. Okay, all right. Well, that's bringing it all back to me now. I think I know the reason why. One of the reasons why I'm probably not blurbed on this book is that although I think I reviewed the first volume, and I think I praised Pearl as a biographer because it's impossible not to. He has access to all of this stuff, and he does just a fantastic job with it. This just talk about. I just did a mail haul, or not a mail haul, but a used book haul, in which I talked about the curious attraction of multi-volume biographies. Well, here we have one. The 20th century has plenty of them. Two-volume biography of Claire Booth Luce, a 3-volume biography of Eleanor Roosevelt, ongoing multiple biographies. Here's a 2-volume one of Calder. I think maybe one of the reasons why I'm not blurbed here is because although I think I praised the craft of the first volume, I definitely got in a few jabs at Calder, who's an absolute fraud. He has no talent whatsoever. His sculptures are intentionally hideously ugly, but not hideously ugly in a way that takes talent to do. Hideously ugly in the way that, for instance, you or I, if we did a massive public commission sculpture, the end result would be ugly, and that would be the reason why, because we have no talent. So, but I seem to remember enjoying that first volume, so I'm happy to have this one. Won't be getting to it until this is an April book, but great. All right, well, there you go. What a weird mail haul. So we have Calder, Volume 2 by Jed Pearl, which will be the final work on the. I mean, this will be the starting point for any future biographer of Calder. We'll have to start with these books. They're incredible. And we have two very pretty gardening volumes, one on container gardening and one on attracting birds and butterflies. Then we have The Incredible Journey of Plants, another plant-related book, and Mayday 1971, but massive protests on Washington Mall at the very height of Watergate. Interesting. Okay, I don't know what to make of any of this song, but that is it. That is the mail that came at the doorbell that you heard, and I'm relieved to say that in the entire course of this video, there's been no doorbells, so no more mail. So I'll wrap this up, and maybe won't see you again until tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.